We can do it. You
Can
can
do
do it.
it.
What's that from?
You can
What
do
was that
it.
from?
Was it a
You can
commercial?
do it.
Was it a commercial? You
Maybe.
can do it.
Fr-
I forget. We'll have to
There
look
was
that
like a
up.
Brazilian guy who said something. You can do
You
it.
can
I
do
don't
it.
remember.
Yeah.
You
I
can
don't
do
know.
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, here we are. Happy Sunday.
Here we are.
We're
Happy Sunday.
It's spring. It's
Sunday,
officially
Sunday.
spring, which is exciting.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently.
We're in a heat wave
Apparently.
here. People are coming from Phoenix because it's over 100 degrees there, which is unheard of for March. But
Yes, you probably got what we just had, which was, it was 80 at the beach, which is hot.
Mhm.
And then it was, 80, 95 in the Inland Empire. And it's now back to, I think, regular temperatures,
Yeah.
which just means in July, it's going to be 60 and foggy.
yeah. Yeah, you get the May gray and the
It's
June
fine.
gloom.
Yep. And it's July is just as bad.
Yep.
It's now August, September, October are really the summer months here now. I think it's just eventually it's just going to rotate and shift.
I remember we would go back to school and it would be butt-ass hot. Like the hottest part of
Yeah.
the summer would be like the first 2 weeks of school. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, what are you sharing with me today?
Well, in conjunction with our theme, I would like to talk about the family motto that I tried to instill upon my family, my children as they were growing up, which is be smart about being stupid. And what I mean by that is when you are going out to do things that are potentially stupid, which we all did, be smart about it.
Mhm.
If you're going out to participate in things that are either not legal for you at whatever age, like drinking, or you're going to participate in some sort of substance that may or may not be legal or illegal, it was always okay. One person has to stay relatively sober. You don't have to be completely sober. Like, I don't want to take away anybody's fun, but somebody has to be at least
In control.
in charge.
Mhm.
Like, somebody has to be able to recognize it's out of control and we got to call 911
Right.
or whatever it is, right? If you're right, if you're younger and you're like, oh, I like a boy, maybe I'll go off with it. Okay, then you got to tell whoever you are what boy you're with, where you're going, what time to try and check to make sure. Like, you just
Yeah.
you have to think about all of these potential bad things that happen and then try and navigate the situation, right? Especially that poor kid in Spain.
Yeah. Yeah. I had that
Never-
on my
you-
notes to
yeah,
talk about.
you
Yeah. And I think they've
You
ruled
can't-
that an
you
accident.
don't-
Yeah.
They did.
Which is unfortunate.
But like also, yeah, right? You agree when ahead of time.
Yeah.
If one wants to leave, like whatever it is.
Well, it's the
and
buddy
if-
system. It's the buddy system. And
just
especially for
have to.
girls, there's just so
Especially.
many things that can go wrong. And, even as adults, when we would go to these conferences, we'd
Yeah.
always have the buddy system.
Yes.
We were in New Orleans.
Yes.
We were in New
Oh,
Orleans.
yeah.
And I'm like, where's Carol? Where's Carol? She was like 10 paces behind us. She's like, I'm right here. You guys left me. We're like, no, buddy system, buddy system. So, yeah.
But even as adults, buddy system, like if you're at, right, especially like a work conference and somebody's starting to kind of get, right, like somebody to be like, you know
It's
what,
time-
let's
it's time for
get
you to
you
go to
out of
your
here
room.
before
Yeah.
you say or do something too, because
Do we need
it's
to
just,
do we need to explain what the buddy system is for people? I think it started with swimming. You always use the buddy system when you went swimming.
no,
That's
think
how I
it
learned
was-
it. And
well,
then
you
it's
would
just kind of, it's just a
I-
life thing where if you're going to go hiking or swimming or something where you could potentially get
Right.
injured or disappear for whatever reason, just tell somebody where you're going. Check in, leave a note.
Tell somebody,
There's someone
right?
with
If
you.
you are traveling alone, right? Tell the front desk, hey, I'm going to this. If
Yeah.
if I don't check back in, right? Like
Yeah.
what? Just little things.
Yes.
Now, I'm not trying to be like scare tactics. It's just a smart thing to do. Even like if I'm right, like if my kids are gonna like I'm turning my phone off.
Mhm.
Okay, turn your phone off for a couple of hours. I know where you're at. If there's an emergency, like it's fine, but you just communicate with people. If I'm going for a hike by myself, even locally, like I tell people where I'm at. People have
Yeah.
my location on their phone, right? What if I fall and break my ankle and I happen to be on like a part of the trail that's quiet? Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I'm all for
Well, and
solitude and doing those things.
it's a
and
lot easier to
adventures
do
by
now
yourself.
with phones, with cell
For
phones.
sure.
We didn't have
For
that
sure.
back in our day. And so it was like you left a
Nope.
note or you told someone or you left a message on their answering machine or, it was like, hey, this is where I'm going to be today. And, 6, 7 o'clock rolls around and you're not home yet. Then,
You
so.
just, you get like, you just gotta be right, especially, right. We didn't also have a lot of, fentanyl and like really crazy
I think
drugs
roofies
that
were like the big
kill you.
like thing.
Barely starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Like if you're gonna buy drugs, but you know what? Find a really solid.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Or don't.
Just don't.
But like, just don't. It's so risky these days.
It really is. Stay away from the white drugs.
Yeah. So just if it's grown naturally on Earth, then maybe that might be a better option for you.
Yeah.
But just be smart about it. Have a plan ahead of time. Designate. Don't deviate from it. Like, could you imagine if like you had the plan? Like if this poor kid in Spain, he and his friend were like, we got to stick together. We got to do this. And now all of a sudden this happens. Do you know how bad his friends feel?
I know.
Like,
yeah.
God,
Yeah.
having to live with that. Like, and it wasn't because you did anything. It was just, you separated.
Yep.
So be smart about being stupid, people.
Okay. I've got a few different things that are rattling around in my
Perfect.
brain.
Oh,
So
swirly brain.
I went out last night. Pretty exciting.
Nice.
I got home from work. I said, you know what? We haven't been out in a while. The weather's nice. I'm gonna rest and then rally. So we went out and had some slices of pizza. We went to our favorite bar and to watch a band that we like. And, it's a good time. Home in bed by 9:15. Perfect. Now, some things I observed. There's a lot of arrested development going on in this town. So the average age is about 70. And
Okay.
you can see by arrested development, I think, where people got stuck, during their prime years. They look like
Okay.
that's what they looked like when they were in their best years.
Okay.
Now, I have to comment on some of the women's hairstyles. I mean, and I have to call myself out because, my hair hasn't changed much in the last 30 years. But
Nor mine.
as women get older, I don't understand why they hang on to bangs. I had bangs for a long time, and I finally said, you know what? I'm not doing bangs anymore. Bangs make me look like I'm trying to look younger than I am. And there's certain styles of bangs that you can still do, but it gets to the point where it's like, I think we need to do something about those bangs.
Maybe it's kind of like the similar to the comb over for men, and it's to hide the
Well, it's to hide
and just detract from the deep
forehead wrinkles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know if I had bangs and I could comb them forward, you wouldn't see all the gray. So it's also hiding some gray. I think it does definitely make you look younger. But sometimes it's kind of like, I think we can do better there. But people get stuck in, this is how my hair has looked for 30 years. I'm used to styling it. And, I don't want to get crazy and new at this age. Another.
Well, I mean, if you look at our respective mothers who are elderly, my mom's had the same hairstyle since I was little, basically.
So is mine.
Yeah.
Okay, I was at the supermarket this week. And you know how I feel about pajama pants in public or pajamas in public?
Yes.
Okay, so not only was this woman wearing pajama pants, but with cowboy boots.
Huh.
Yeah. That was an
Interesting.
interesting look. I thought, I'm all about a pull-on shoe when you just go into the store real quick, but a cowboy boot
You don't have flip flops
with some
down day?
plaid fleece pajama pants. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I have more questions than answers with that one.
She had kids with her, so, She was a mom that was just kind of doing her thing.
Yeah.
Probably didn't give a shit.
Those
Good for
probably,
her.
yeah, they were probably the closest thing at the door and she didn't want to go look. So
Exactly.
it's like, screw it, I'm
Exactly.
just doing it.
Okay. I have to issue a big, fat fucking I told you so on the Stanley Cups.
Ooh.
Because
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I predicted the thrift stores are going to be full of them in no time. And I saw a video someone posted that said, "Oh no, am I really seeing this?" And it was in like a TJ Maxx or a Ross, and it was just a giant shelf full of Stanley Cups. And I thought, there you go. There you go. That big dumb cup that you paid how much for is now on the discount rack. Congratulations on your hydration, your performative hydration. All right, last one. And this is kind of sad. I was doing something online and somehow it took me to our high school class Facebook page. And I don't do Facebook very often.
Okay.
That has become like a memorial page for all of our classmates who have died, which I just was kind of like, wow, there's quite a few. And we're still young. You know, we feel old, but we're still considered young. So to see that many people who've passed away, it just kind of bummed me out. Now, next year is our 40th, and I might have to make a trip. We may have to go.
If we're all going, I'm in.
We may have to go.
I mean, it's going to be the same people that were at the 10, 20, and 30, which is fine.
I only went to the 10, so I haven't seen all those people. But you know,
come on,
I might have to come down and just give it a whirl. Now, if it's some $200 affair, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Well, given the price of inflation, I mean, we can try. I mean, if we know whoever's on the committee, you gotta, find a brewery that's got like a back room that's like, we'll sell you the room for $50 and everybody buys their they come up with something like pre-sale drink tickets or so. You just gotta
let's all
it doesn't
just
need to
meet
be
somewhere.
fancy.
I don't want to have to do an organized thing.
Yeah, I think the last one, like, they did, I think 30 plus one because we missed 30 or something. So it was at the Racket Club, I think. And that was pretty, and they had like a taco truck and that was pretty inexpensive. Like, you just have to find a place like that. You'll get more people to attend if you have, but at the rate everything costs everything.
Didn't they do a 35th? I thought they did a 35th.
I think they did, but I don't know how many people went.
Yeah, I thought I saw pictures on the page, but that could have been from, a year ago. Who the hell knows? All right. So
I mean, if you could join the committee, and then you could help.
I thought I was on the MIA list.
You are officially on the we don't know where you are list.
Well, some people know where I am.
Yeah.
So our topic today is very apropos for what's happening in the world right now, and we're going to talk about spring break because a lot of the kids are on spring break right now.
Spring break, yeah.
And a video popped up on I think Instagram, and I think it was from the news at that time of Palm Springs. Back in like the late 80s, like 80s, I think right around the time we graduated high school. So late 80s and the so-called Palm Springs riots. So, spring break got really, really big there for some time. And
there was, I mean, that's really like, I mean, I feel like in like Southern California, there were like kind of maybe 3 basic spaces, right? There was Palm Springs, not Palm Desert. Palm Desert was fancy. Palm Springs, the river or / Havasu, and like Tijuana. And I think I did Palm Springs maybe twice.
I know Sonia did it a few times. I remember her telling us those stories.
I remember Zelda's, which was the nightclub, and one side was like it was a 2-sided nightclub that you could go back and forth, and one side was like rock and roll music, and the other side was like
dance,
fun music, and like the people in each side dressed each side.
Yeah.
And then when they would go back and forth, Zelda's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I remember being there once.
so the big deal was that it just was such an influx of people, and the poor like motels and hotels, they really had to try and control it, because it was like one person would get a room, and next thing you know, you have 30 people staying in that room, or people having parties, or they were destroying the pool areas. So then, like, after a couple years, then I think after the riots, which I don't even know why they called it that.
No, it's just
There was a park, like a little public park, on one end of town, and I think people just like were sleeping in it. They were using it like a beach. I mean, it was party central. And a lot of the hotels, they ended up adding extra security. They had to gate off the pools. They wouldn't let you in unless you could show a key card, or, you had evidence that you were registered as a guest. And they really had to crack down on the security and, crowd control. But it was wall-to-wall people walking up and down 111.
Well,
It was just a line of cars that you were like stuck in this gridlock line of cars for hours.
Because it's one way. It's one
Yep.
road in and out, and if you
And it
and I
was,
think there's like a stop sign and not like a stoplight at the main entrance.
And it was the water squirt bottles and super soakers got real popular. You'd squirt people, convertibles. You'd drive around in the convertibles. Now, I have to tell a story, and it's not my story, because I never did like the big crazy spring break trip. I think we did maybe a few trips. Like I think we did Arrowhead, but just
those were
just with us. It wasn't like
just the girl
party. It was just our own party.
No.
So I have to tell Tom's story. So he and I can't name names. I have to protect some people.
Fair enough.
Because I don't want to get sued. But I'll tell you offline. You might know who it is, but just keep it to yourself. So he and his cousin, or he and some friends, they did the Palm Springs things maybe a handful of times during that riots era. And he says, I remember that there was a Burger King. We went in to get food, and it was literally like a hoarder house of Burger King trash that you had to maneuver to get to the counter. Because they were so overwhelmed. And he says, I remember we were cruising, down the strip with the 111. And here comes a couple of gentlemen who he knew very well, because they were priests from his school. And with girls.
Interesting.
Having a good time. Cruising with some chicks down the main drag there. And he said, I saw them. They saw me. Didn't say anything. Got back to school the following week, and I was called to the office. There had been actually, I think, a group of students that had gone off campus and did something and were getting in trouble for something. And so he was part of that. But he didn't get in trouble.
Of course he
basically, didn't. This person.
We'll forget about this. Yeah, we'll just forget about
this if you just forget
quid
about that.
Pro quo.
Yes. So, I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. So one of the men actually left the priesthood and has passed away since. The other one is still a priest. Oh my God. And we'll just leave it at that. So. So that was his big story. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, Palm Springs got really big for a while. And then Sonny Bono came in as mayor and said, look let's get this under control. We're stopping this, putting in a lot of, rules and regulations, and that kind of toned it down. So it's still popular for spring break, but you don't have the chaos that you had.
I don't think I think people, I think that 111 little strip, that's not really, I don't think that's where people go anymore, right?
It is.
It
is.
Okay.
It's still like considered downtown, but you also have the casino, the Spa Casino, which is like a block over. So you have that whole kind of section downtown, but it's one way. It's all traffic signals.
Yeah.
And the parking is restricted. So it's not like it used to be. It's still very, very popular, very busy, but not, it's not the free for all that it was for a while. But I don't know. I never saw the attraction with Florida other than people on the East Coast that are like, because
I was
we
going
grew
to
up
say
in California.
I think that's
we have
right.
the
Yeah.
sunshine, but I guess, if you're
Yeah.
if you're from the eastern
Yeah, if you're
area, you go down there
Yeah.
because it's warm. It's like, oh, we need to go somewhere warm because it's freezing. It's still winter, kind of technically.
Yeah, I think that that's their version, right? Like I'm not going to I go to the beach every day,
Mhm.
like it's not. So if you don't live near the beach,
Right.
and I would imagine that there's right, like it's like us going to Vegas. I
Right.
feel like some of the right, if you're in like New York and Boston, you're going to the beach. Now, I will say, about 15 years ago, I work for a company in consumer electronics, and me and a coworker, we had a joint customer in the Miami area, and they were having a meeting. And this was totally not necessary, but we did it on purpose. It was at the very tail end of spring break, and we were in South Beach. Now, if I had all the money in the world, let me tell you, South Beach, Florida, during spring break is wild. And this was at the very, very tail end. We didn't even leave to go out until 11 o'clock. And I don't even know. The club where we went was packed. There was lines up and around the block, but it's all cement with no windows, so you don't know what time it is. We like left the club at 4
Oh
a.m.
my God.
Look, I don't know. It was not a good idea, but we did it. Like but I had never felt so like everybody in South Beach is beautiful, thin, wealthy. Like there's
Tan.
so much all of the things. You're like, oh, the most beautiful. They're all the most beautiful. You just as a genuine human feel so inferior
Wow.
if you are not one of those or all three of those things. But man, like I get the appeal, but it's not inexpensive. Everything
Oh, I'm
is
sure.
crazy. And you see like all the like right now Daytona's having the big issues. So we go back, what was it, 7 years ago? The original like influencer thing that goes viral was Adrian's Kickback. Where this kid, Adrian, on TikTok says, hey, I'm having a party in Huntington Beach. Come meet me. So then it got retweeted and reposted and whatever. And it turned into like it had 6 million views in like 8 hours. Like it was crazy. And so people in the city were like, oh, it's no big deal. I'm like, it's a very big deal. And do you understand that you're going to have 2,000 people just with no plan, just invading the beach? And they're like, you think? I'm like, yeah, like that's how social media,
That's
like
how it works.
It was like kind of it's the first big thing where like that happened. And they like, it wasn't sure, like, cause some of the posts where it was Friday night and some where it was Saturday, but Friday was like the rehearsal. And so Friday they thought, oh, we had it totally under control. I'm like, you didn't. And Saturday, it was the only time in my life where I was genuinely in fear because I had 300 people with 6 police cars behind them coming towards me. And I jumped into the gate check and shut and locked the door. And I'm like, if they decide to just tear the doors off, break the windows, and come in, like I have no recourse. I am completely
give me something to burn.
No, they were taking
Oh my God.
they were taking fire with the Roman candles, and they were shooting them at people. And then in the campground, they were running up and over people's RVs. It was chaos. I'm like, okay, like I'm in the booth locked in hiding. The 300 people run past me. I'm like, all right, this is my very small window to like get the fuck out of here. I like shut everything down and went. I'm like, there's a panic button in the booth, but like, okay, if I hit the panic button, who's going to come save me? Like, I'm like, oh my God. So, I guess
you're like in the booth, just all help me.
I'm like hiding, maybe they don't, right? Like I'm like, don't stand next to a window. I don't want them to see that I'm in here and think they can come in. I want them to. Oh, it was so crazy. I guess Daytona is having a similar where they the police have now come and said anybody who posts it, and if we're sending you a bill. I'm like,
they kicked everyone
that's
out
one way to deter, but
they kind of kicked everyone out of Fort Lauderdale. That used to be like the Florida place over the years.
Yep.
And then I think from what I read, God, I can't remember now, but basically that city said we're not doing this anymore, and that's when the mayor of Daytona said, "Oh, everybody come here." So then that's when it kind of switched over to Daytona. Yeah. Then you have
now Daytona's like, don't come
but
here.
You have fucking MTV blowing it up every year.
Yes.
I mean, that got out of control when they started that. And so, I mean, they've done different locations over the years, but Daytona seems to be, it's Florida.
And I guess,
somewhere in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the news, Houston was the big one this year that seemed to have a massive. I guess there's a rodeo or something, and so in addition to the rodeo, there were a lot of young people going and behaving.
Is it South Padre Island,
like spring breakers?
South Padre Island.
I don't know,
something like that.
No, this was in Houston somewhere.
Okay.
I don't even. It's not even like it was like the influx of people had something to do with some sort of like rave or party or something that was kind of like rodeo adjacent. But I guess that's wreaking havoc these days.
So I think Havasu is still pretty popular. Like
Havasu is still very popular. Havasu and the river.
Was it Copper Cove or Copper Canyon? What was the
Copper Canyon?
Where you could basically
that's the other side.
Walk from boat to boat. There were so many boats.
Yeah,
you could just like
that's the same. Yeah. You've got the river, which is, like a couple mile stretch, and like Copper Canyon is on one end and like Havasu's on the other end, and then everything in between. And it's still, anytime it's any 3-day weekend, any big, it's also, I think, a lot of the same people, because most of the people that go have like vacation homes or like
timeshare.
If you don't have a boat, it's not. Yeah,
that's where you go.
If you don't have a boat, it's not fun. Yeah. And now back in our high school days, Mark that was his friend, that was his clique. That's where they went. And they would, same thing, right? You could barely get a room. You had to do it way in advance, and there's, 10 people in a room. It's the same thing, same thing. Sometimes they went and they slept in their cars and just chaos. Now, locally, I've been seeing on social media in the beach cities, Newport Beach, Seal Beach, San Diego, their respective police departments are posting online, like going and busting people for having alcohol and fireworks on the beach. Now, they're not just going to come randomly up to you. Like if you're being creative about if you've got your thrift store Stanley Cup filled with beer, and you're not acting a fool, they're not going to do anything. Yeah. They're going to leave you alone. If you're starting to act like a fool, or you're taking Roman candles and dispersing them into a crowd of people at noon, they're probably going to come check you, and they're probably going to give you a citation, make you pour all your beer out, take all your fireworks, and if you argue with them, they're going to arrest you. That's normal.
Here's a perfect example of your family motto.
Yes.
Be smart about being stupid. If you're going to drink on the beach. Now, you used to be able to drink on the beach in San Diego. They finally got rid of that a few years back because I think they realized, it only takes one or a handful of dumbasses to ruin it for everybody. And that's pretty much what happens. So, but yeah, it's like, it just.
Also, all the police departments have air support, and if you're lighting firecrackers, they can find you.
Oh yeah.
And if their air support is taking a video or film, like you just stop with the fireworks. I get they're fun, but go get a bonfire and just light regular shit on fire.
I remember in our youth, the beach cops had the ATVs or the quads, and
Yep.
we used to call them the bitch
do.
patrol. Hey man, here comes the bitch patrol. Hide the beer, and they would just cruise up and down the beach, and they were just they're looking. Obviously, if you see them coming, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of activity going on, and people are looking at them, it's like really, they're not dumb. They know what's going on.
And again, it's they they're if you're just enjoying your time and have it, just don't be obvious. When people are when I see people walking around and they got their 12-pack or whatever, I'm all, put a towel over it, put a shirt over it, put it in a bag. It's
you can have a cooler, it's fine, but be discreet about it.
Just be discreet. Don't be obvious. It is illegal, but it's not something they want to waste the time on. They've got far bigger concerns.
The beach would be empty if they had to bust everybody that's drinking on the beach.
Everybody.
Just, keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
I did look at some, because we already talked about the guy in Spain that died. He fell in the water. But spring break tragedies. Now, there's a lot of them, and my mind immediately goes to Natalie Holloway. That was in Aruba, I believe. Yeah. And she was last seen getting into a car with 3 men and was never seen again. And so
was it his Van something or other?
Van der Sloot.
Yeah.
And and his 2 friends. So here's where the buddy system comes in, Yeah. So other things that happen during spring break, other than foul play type of tragedies, a lot of drownings, obviously, from our friend in Spain. Traffic accidents are a big one. Violent acts, which we talked about, and falling off balconies is a big one too.
I was just gonna say, or like roofs or balconies, missing the pool when you jump off. Yeah. And you can trace a lot of these back to alcohol and drugs, unfortunately. For sure. But and we've certainly had our moments, and I would think that sitting in a basketball hoop may not have been the smartest option, but you just didn't think of it at the time.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I don't necessarily think it was surrounded by spring break. I think it's really more of a Memorial Day thing, but God, what was it? I don't even remember when what was the Rehab, which was the name of the pool party at the Hard Rock Hotel that was on Sundays. And Rehab was a crazy, every major big hotel has their pool party day in Vegas, and it has a name. But the Rehab pool party in Vegas also had a TV show where they filmed everything, and it was awesome, and it was hilarious, and it is coming back.
Oh my.
The last time I was in
Who's hosting it? Richard Blade?
I don't maybe. I don't know. But this is breaking news here.
He's not really
breaking
Vegas.
News.
He's more SoCal, but yeah.
He's more SoCal. But I was at the I can't even remember the hotel, but it's got the new sports book that has all the huge giant TVs, and it's outdoors, and there's all these pools, and I was just talking to because I wanted to go out and see it, and they're like, you don't have, if you don't stay at the hotel, you can't go see it. I'm like, that's fair, I understand. But he was just giving me an overview of how many pools and what it was, and showing me the pictures. And he said something that the Hard Rock people, the people that are building the new Hard Rock, were there asking questions and said to him that they were going to be bringing it back, and they were. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be wild. That's gonna
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, that was back in the days when reality TV was still actual reality, and there wasn't a lot of scripting.
So, do you remember during COVID 2020? That was right smack in the middle of spring break, And
Oh,
there was a
yeah.
lot of
That's right.
well, a lot of places were just shut down, but then there was a lot of them that
Yeah.
weren't. And kids were like, "We're still going, we're still going." And there
And then
were
they all came home and
COVID
got everybody
parties,
sick.
yeah, where they just said, "We don't care, we're just going to do what we're going to do." Yeah, they all came back and got everybody sick. I just remember that just sticks out in my mind. Um, I also kind of took a little spin in the realm of movies and TV shows about spring break. Now, the
Nice.
classic 1960 Where the Boys Are is kind of the classic spring break movie. And I guess they remade it in 1984. I never saw either, but
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it.
yeah, but that was kind of
I'm
held up
writing
as
it down. Where the boys
the
are.
classic spring break
Okay.
movie. And then they've done
Not the movie.
a lot of them.
Not the movie entitled Spring
Exactly. They've done a lot of spring break themed movies. And also
Yes.
most TV shows have had a spring break episode. Now, I have to say my favorite spring break episode of a TV show has to be The Facts of Life. When this was the later era when they were all living, I think they might have, yeah, I guess they were in college. And Edna's Edibles was gone. They had the little gift shop with all the neon crap like Oz. And Natalie's grandmother invites them to come down to Florida and use her condo for spring break. So they all go.
Okay.
And I have to say that, Tootie, my least favorite character, I did enjoy her in this episode because she and Natalie try to fake that they're 21 to go to, nightclubs. And so she's thinking
did they
that,
have fake
I'm an
IDs that
actress.
said they were like 50 or
She's
something?
like, I'm an actress, so I'm just going to act older. Yeah, and they got these horrible IDs, but it was funny. Now, Blair, of course, flew everyone in her dad's private jet, as Blair does.
Yeah.
And Joe, our favorite character, Joe, meets a guy played by...
Was he a mechanic?
No, he was a musician named Flyman. And she keeps referring to him as Flyman, like Hyman.
Okay. Yes.
And played by actor and singer Michael Damian.
Oh,
who
nice.
I think wasn't he like a soap actor that had some
Probably.
had some songs?
Didn't George Clooney do a few episodes?
George Clooney
of
was
The
on The Facts of Life.
Yep.
But that's got to be one of my favorite ones. A hurricane happens. Natalie's running around like a mental patient because the condo's getting wrecked because they decided to have a party. It's a hurricane. They're stuck in there. Things are blowing around, water damage. So that has to be one of my favorites, though.
They all kind of have the same storyline.
Yep. What
In
else
my
you got?
30 seconds of research, Canada refers to it as March break, not spring break.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't specifically look for it, but it came up somewhere. So, I wonder where Canada goes for spring break.
Well,
look.
I'll tell you that we would be out at my mom's condo, or my the family condo out in Palm Springs.
there's a-
and
yeah,
we
there
get
are
a lot
some-
of
yeah, there's a lot
Canadians
of
there. We
Canadians,
would have a
yeah.
lot of mostly people that work for the airlines.
Yeah.
There was some regulars that would come down and that we would see time to time. Or you just see a lot of license plates, Canada license plates. So
Yeah.
they come down.
Well, I mean,
to-
I think they're mad at the U.S., so they can't come to the United States. So I wonder where they're going.
What are they mad about this time? Does it have to do
I
with the
don't
oil?
know. No, I think they just hate the U.S. because we're putting tariffs. And, I don't
that
know.
whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and actually, spring break, I think started with, because it's such a long stretch from like Christmas break to when the end of the school year. So I think they threw spring break in there as a break for students and teachers to just kind of say,
I will
let's
say
just take a pause, get through the rest of the season.
So here locally there are half the school district, not half, a handful of the school districts take only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off at Thanksgiving, and then they have what is referred to as ski week.
Right.
It's just President's Week. Like they have a recess that's a little bit earlier, and then they also have spring break. Now, I think that there is some merit and value to that, because the schools that don't do that have the whole week off at Thanksgiving, and then they have like 2 Mondays in a row for like President's Day instead of the whole week.
Right.
At the end of the day, all schools have the same amount of school days. There is, I think, some value to that week-long break in the middle. March and like May are the two toughest like months for most schools, because people are starting to get, like, the kids are starting to get feral in March. The weather's been great.
Right. They're getting antsy.
There's no break. There's no day off. They're starting to get they're getting all hyped up because the Easter Bunny's coming, right? The kids are getting crazy. And then you get that same kind of feeling in May. But I feel like the May is a little bit more like positive because it's the end of the school year. So people are a little bit, whereas this one is, they're just a little bit. So there's been some kookiness in the schools around, kids just getting a little
antsy and a little stir crazy,
a little ready to go,
cabin fever, and ready to just bust loose for the summer. Because as a kid, summer was like, yay, it's summer,
Yeah, because it's summer. Yeah, spring break is exciting, but it's not like summer.
Being a kid, it was all about summer.
All about summer break.
I think that's why I still love summer. It's warm out. That's late. You can do stuff. You get your gardening going on. You just, I don't know. Living in the land of winter it was hard. And so I would love summer, but summer there was very short. You have a different
appreciation.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Anything else about spring break for us?
Nope. That's all I got. Okay. Just be smart about being stupid, folks.
That's a good one. That's a good one for this.
It's a good one
for this topic.
It is very good.
All right. What you talking about, Willis?
So I just, my little brief catches of research trying to come up with some phrases or words around this kind of break season. And a couple that came up that I had not heard of, but people referring to when they do like a photo dump of their vacation, calling it the photo buffet or the spring cookbook.
Nice. I like that.
And the catchphrase that some have used is "let's catch a flight and not feelings." And I fully support that phrase. I love that phrase. I would way rather catch a flight than feelings.
Okay.
So,
it's not bad.
Kind of boring. But
mine kind of went in another direction. Apparently the term chud is back.
Oh,
and
yeah.
as soon as I
Chud
heard
is
it,
back.
I said, oh, cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. That's what chud is. That was a movie back in the day.
Not in this case.
Well,
it was.
Yeah. Chud just means like a loser, somebody who might still live in their parents' basement. Apparently they used it in like political arenas, like, oh, they're a liberal chud, or they're a right-wing chud. But apparently chud is coming back, not to be confused with chungus.
I feel like chode or chode. I used chode. Yeah. Chode.
I also had another one. I saw almond mom and butter mom. And I said, what's a butter mom?
It's an almond mom.
Excuse me, I still have a little residual. A butter mom. Well, it came up as butter mom outfit, and it was like just an outfit that this type of a mom would wear, and it's the jeans with the high waist, Converse or Keds or some kind of tennis shoe like that, a denim shirt over like a t-shirt underneath, and some kind of jaunty hat and a big purse. That's a butter mom uniform, apparently.
Okay.
But a butter mom is a mom that basically lets the kids eat, whatever. Makes a lot of dishes with butter. Isn't real restrictive with what they eat. As opposed to an almond mom, and I think this came from, it was a viral video where a mom was like, go eat an almond, to her skinny daughter. Oh, you're hungry, have an almond. So an almond mom would be the opposite, would be a mom that's very concerned, very restrictive, very, you got to
Got
stay
it.
thin, you got to stay thin, that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I had a butter mom,
Future,
not an almond mom, and I'm a butter girl.
future,
That's for
future,
sure.
future eating disorder child there.
Exactly. Okay, I also
Balance. Everything in life is a
exactly.
balance.
So we went, I haven't had pizza in like months, so I said, we're going and getting slices tonight. And then on the way home from the bar is right next to like a ice cream shop that has probably 80 different flavors of taffy. And you just grab a bucket, you fill that bucket, and they weigh it, and that's how you pay for your taffy.
Yeah.
So
I love taffy.
we leave a trail of taffy wrappers all the way home, pretty much. But yeah, we had some taffy.
That's how we
last
find
night.
you?
That's how you find me. Buddy system, taffy wrappers. So I had a few follow-ups from our last episode, which was about
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So I've neglected to mention that was the one party a year that my parents used to throw, was the big St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day bash. So I don't know how
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We had the same thing. We had neighbors that had a party. They'd make T-shirts, the first, the second, the third annual, the whole neighborhood. They'd have a band. They'd get a bagpipe player.
Yeah.
All of it. Forgot the whole thing.
So,
Forgot all about it.
But that was a good time. My parents, they had a really, really good group of friends. Really, nice group of friends that they would do this party with. So on St. Patrick's Day, I came home and I mentioned that they do a pub crawl here in town. And so we were going out to get something to eat, and we were kind of hitting the aftermath of the pub crawl as people were going home and walking back to their cars or wherever. And so we were at a red light waiting for people in the crosswalk, and they were wearing the T-shirts. Obviously, they were part of the whole thing. And I just was looking at these people like, oh, ooh, it's
that's
been a
gonna
long
hurt a
day,
lot
and that's
tomorrow.
gonna hurt tomorrow. And it just reinforced, hey, I don't want to do that.
I don't want
If
to
I'm
do
going to do a
that.
pub crawl, we're going to one place and we're staying there, and I want to be home in bed by 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We also talked
Kind
about
of like a pub nap
pub
instead
nap.
of a pub crawl.
Yep.
A pub nap.
we talked about Dairy Girls, the TV show Dairy Girls on Netflix. There is a show from the creators of Dairy Girls called How to Get to
Yes.
Heaven from Belfast, and I watched it, and
Yes.
it's very funny.
It's cute.
That dark,
It's very
dark
cute.
comedy, very, very similar to Dairy Girls. Also,
Yep.
I watched the Peaky Blinders movie over this
Yeah,
weekend.
that's on my list. I'm gonna do that tonight.
Very
Yep.
good. It's got everything
Yep.
that you want and expect from that
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Now I don't know that there's going to be another series. I don't know. I didn't see anything, but I think they might be done. If they do another series, I don't know. They might do like a prequel kind of thing, or
Yeah.
or
Could
maybe
be.
a
Yeah, they'll come up with
who
something.
knows. But
Yeah.
it had everything that you were expecting and wanted. And one last thing, you had mentioned last week about a Slim Jim to get your keys out of if you lock your keys in your car. Now,
Yep.
my car is a 2019, so I don't know when they started doing this, but it is physically impossible for me to lock my keys in my car.
Yeah. Slim Jim is really like
Because I don't have a key.
almost
It's a keyless remote.
Yeah.
So if you leave it in the
Yeah.
car, it
Yeah.
senses
You just when you pull the
Yeah.
handle, you
you
Yeah.
can't lock your car with the keys in the car.
Yeah.
So I just thought
Yeah.
about that, and I thought, well, what kind of car did these people have? Must not be a newer car, or must not be a keyless remote, or who the
I
hell
don't even know
knows?
what kind of car they did have. Like they had, well, I don't know. And when the beep beep,
Mhm.
like just the remotes started, when it detected that it was a Slim Jim, it automatically locked it. So you had to like do the Slim Jim and lift the
Right.
handle like all fast
Right.
at the same time. Yeah, I have a 1999 4Runner, and the trailer hitch, I have like it's a lock mechanism that's got a key in
Mhm.
it. So if I ever lock my key in the car, I just flip that.
Right.
But
Right.
you could use a Slim Jim in my car.
Well,
it would probably work. It would probably be super easy
This
too.
is what's weird is I've been walking through parking lots and like the higher trucks, the bigger trucks that are up higher. I've just casually looked down or looked over and I see a key on top of the tire. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what a lot of surfers do. They just leave a key on top of the tire. But like, I don't think so much anymore. But most of them have some sort of like lock that they put somewhere.
Right.
And if you've got a roof rack or whatever, they have those little locks with a hook. You just leave it there. Like, just be smart about being stupid.
Smart about being stupid. Yeah. That's all I got. Any final thoughts?
That's it. No, just, continue to be smart about being stupid.
Buddy system. Use the buddy system.
Buddy system. Yep. Yeah.
Especially ladies
it's
out
okay
there.
To have fun.
Yeah.
Just don't die.
Yep.
That's it. We just don't want people to die.
We don't want to die. Or anything else to happen. And keep your eyes on your drink. Don't leave your drink unattended. Yeah.
Don't take any drinks from people. Don't.
Yeah.
That is a widespread problem everywhere, and not just on spring break. So I don't think it's age related. It's men, women, all of the above. They're just trying to steal your stuff. Don't wear your Rolex out. Leave it at home. Like, don't buy a Rolex.
Yeah.
Put that money somewhere else.
Yeah, the flashy.
That's just
the flashy jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. All right.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all I got. All right. Well.
All right. Well, everybody, enjoy your spring break.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.